Okay, so we traced a lot of your career. There was a little hiatus right there. Which, like I told you before, ADD, I go from here to here. We traced your career. We got you to Sacred Heart Basilica in Newark, and then you came to St. Malachy's. From St. Malachy's, you came to St. John Nepomucene.
Yes.
I want to hit the European cycle, but let's finish what you do here. St. John Nepomucene, what exactly do you do here? And this is important for our audience to know what a director of music is all about.
So, as expected with a lot of the administration, I organize the choirs, the choral music, the liturgical music, rehearsals, working with anything that has to do with music. We have a lot of visiting groups, individuals or ensembles who...
Are you the coordinator of all that?
Yes.
Because it's been wonderful.
So over the past few years, we've been developing a concert series, which the upcoming year has a lot of exciting performers and ensembles from all over. So it's bigger and better each year.
And what's the website for the music series? Or is it just...
Well, you can find the music events at eastrivercatholics.org.
Okay.
Also, if you go on Facebook or Instagram, it's East River Concerts.
Okay, I got to say a little piece about East River. When I started helping out here, Father Baker invited me here, and also St. Francis Xavier Cabrini Church, and between the two buildings, the river is the river. So he named this community East River Catholics, and it's great because it says it all. It's East River. All the people from both sides of the river come together, and it's beautiful.
He did a special blessing during Holy Week where it was an Orthodox tradition where you dip the cross into the river.
That was Epiphany.
Oh yes,
because I saw it online. I don't know where I was, but I saw it. Go ahead.
Yeah. But everything is, the river gives us such life and challenge, but we embrace it just like our faith challenges us.
Excellent. Okay, so you set up the concerts, and you have to go online to find out when the concerts are because they're wonderful. The acoustics are wonderful. This year, I was present for the, I'm not going to say the wrong name, but the Orthodox choir, seminary choir?
Yes.
What was that exactly?
It was a concert in a Vesper format, which wasn't a liturgical service, but they brought all of the Eastern Rite repertoire and music, and such a phenomenal sound.
It was unbelievable. Their sound, and of course, the acoustics.
Yes.
Beautiful. Okay, so you set up concerts. Do you have a large choir here?
The choir is quite small, but we've got some really great singers. Some who live in the neighborhood, and some who travel. I'm guessing 45 minutes by train or bus just to come here. So it's an interesting mix of people and a lot of enthusiasm.
This is really literally an inner city parish. I mean, the church is on First Avenue, busy as the day is long. And recently, Father Baker had installed huge glass windows. So you can see from the street, you can see into the church during the celebrations. It's breathtaking. And it's busy. It's a busy community. I mean, and even the weekday masses, I go at the time, yes, weekday masses that I'm going to celebrate in a little bit, are just filled with a diverse number of people, a lot of people from local hospitals, and I love being here. I mean, you must love it too.
It's a really interesting place. Compared to my experience in Times Square, where you had so many tourists and so many people in the hotels, and of course a lot of people living in the neighborhood, but it was really a transient community. Whereas here, it's more neighborhood. You have people are more settled in this neighborhood. Even on Roosevelt Island, where you have a lot of hospital or diplomatic workers who might be here for 2-year terms or whatever, there still is some transient quality, but the biggest difference for me is noticing how much more stable and regular the community is.
Right. Get involved. You're local, get involved. And if you're not local, come. Very easy to get to. Okay, so anything else about your experiences here that we should know before I go into Europe?
Well, apart from the music, I also organize the web outreach, the online outreach, our Facebook accounts, Instagram. We do a weekly e-newsletter, which I include pictures and links, and it's kind of doubling our printed bulletin, but it's an online way of keeping people engaged.
And the video streaming, is that
Yes.
under your auspices?
It's under Looks New York.
Okay, Looks New York, and go online on our site, put Looks New York, you'll see the interviews with Aneta there, is a Slovak Catholic community, because this church was originally Slovak. Go ahead.
And they live stream the Slovak Mass at 10:15 every Sunday and the English Mass at 12 noon every Sunday, and sometimes special occasions.
It's so great. It's no matter where I am, I always go on it and check it out. The Slovak I can't last that long because I don't know it. But the English, it's beautifully done, and it's live. It's as we see it. It's going over to Slovakia.
Yes, yes.
That's great.
So,
Are you involved with that?
no.
Music wise?
Just in playing the organ and
Yeah,
directing the choir.
Just okay. Okay, interesting. Anything else you do here?
If I think of it,
Yeah.
I'm usually on call for whatever happens.
Where were we before? I don't know. There was something, and Father Baker. Oh, could you get that? And of course, he's like a go-to person. He's all over. Okay, I want to go back to your European tours, because every time I talk to you, you're either going or coming back from.
So most of my travel over the years has been in some ways related to music. So if I'm doing a tour or visiting people with whom I can stay in their home and make the travel expenses doable, I always try to visit an organ or expose myself to some kind of musical culture, whether it's to see concerts or try to connect with local musicians.
What languages do you speak?
Well, I've studied French the most.
Okay.
I can understand it well enough to try to speak it. I'm very scared.
Well, all of us.
German, I mean, it's
Basic.
It's basic enough to sound like I know something that I don't, and to get myself in trouble. So a little bit of German, Spanish. I can fake it.
Excellent.
A little bit.
Okay.
Poquito.
You're very European. I mean, there are no. I don't think there are any Europeans that don't speak 4 languages. I mean, they just ramble. I mean, it's wonderful.
I recently got back from Egypt, which was a total
Stop it.
pleasure trip. It was a bucket list trip. Nothing to do with music, but I did get to exercise a little bit of the Arabic that I know. And I have a few friends who speak Arabic, and I picked up, I don't know how I remember the phrases or the words, but I came back, so it didn't get me in trouble.
Right. Jerry taught, and Jerry's our videographer on the other side of the camera. He taught in Haledon, New Jersey, and the community there is a large Arabic community. So he shoots off words now and then, like I'm not going to repeat them, but like good morning and how are you and be quiet, and so
Yeah.
significant words for a teacher. No music in Egypt.
Not related to the organ or church music. I did attend, I was there for Holy Week. Ironically, Easter Sunday happened.
They're Coptic, right?
Yes,
Okay.
the Coptic and the Orthodox tradition, which celebrated Easter a week. I finished Easter here in
You had another Easter.
New York, and then
Right.
got on a plane and landed during Holy Week again.
That's great.
So, but I got to visit a couple churches, but also experience a lot of the diverse culture.
Because we're in Egypt, let's go with that for a second. How is the Christian community welcomed?
From what I observed, it's hard to know. My guide was Muslim, but we talked a lot about Islamic issues and Christian issues, and I felt as though Egypt is trying to recover from just the recent history, the past 5 years or so since the Arab Spring, and but I got a sense that there's a strong community. I did some research before I went to learn about, there have been bombings at churches like St. Mark's and
Yes.
Alexandria. But as a tourist, I felt very safe, and I felt that there's a value in preservation. I even visited a very old synagogue. I think the oldest synagogue in Cairo, which was very interesting. So I got to see firsthand these things that Fox News might not report.
Right.
But I've been to the Middle East, different parts of the Middle East, and to outline the differences between places like Oman or Dubai, the Emirates, or even Israel.
And you've been to all these places?
Yes, yeah. So Israel was
There's
a
a little
concert.
jealousy going on here.
Israel was a concert tour, and
Oh, stop.
so most of my time there was rehearsing or performing. I didn't have much free time, but I did get to visit Nazareth, Jerusalem, and Bethlehem.
Great.
So, and that was a life-changing experience. When I was in the old city in Jerusalem, I stumbled across the Via Dolorosa and the Stations of the Cross, and it was just kind of hair-raising.
A friend of mine just came back, Dr. Greg, and we're going in September of 2019 to Holy Land. I'm so excited about it. But he recalls, as you are recalling, hair-raising experiences. He said to walk on the same streets that Jesus walked on and to know and see the stories of the Bible that we've known since we were born there. I mean, I can't wait.
Yeah.
It was. And did you perform in the Holy Land?
Yes. So I performed at the Basilica in Nazareth, the Annunciation, and a church in Jerusalem, and also at Nativity in Bethlehem.
Okay, so what's the inroad to start performing? I mean, did you play for a mass or just perform?
These were solo recitals. It was a part of a larger international festival. So I was the first American, and the other performers were from elsewhere in Europe and Greece and other places. But that festival has continued. That was 2014, but since then they've continued every year, and it seems to get bigger and bigger.
Is there a name to that festival?
It's the Terra Sancta Festival,
Holy
which
Land.
is run by the Custodia of the Holy Land.
Franciscans.
Yes.
Right.
And they also include performances and places in Syria. So between Lebanon and Syria, they're trying to promote music as a unifying language.
Yes.
I remember seeing the posters in Jerusalem that were listed in English, Arabic, and Hebrew.
Great.
And
Great.
that was, for some people, that was very controversial to see Arabic and Hebrew on the same document.
Excellent. And you were part of that.
Yeah, it was a huge
unifying
honor.
experience.
Yeah.
I think music and a lot of the arts, they unify beyond boundaries. I mean, it's great. I mean, if you dance wherever you are. If you play music, you play. I mean, internationally. I mean, of course, it's music.
Yeah.
That's great. I think it's a great gift that the Lord has blessed us with, and a great gift that you have from your grandfather's influence.
Well, music has opened up so many parts of my life to coming to know the church, to learn about architecture, to learn about cultures, to travel, and it's the one thing that's helped me understand the world that I live in, and helped me see a lot of it, and that's the hugest blessing. And I hopefully through my performances or whatever I can give back, I can try to share that
and inspire people. Beautiful. Okay, we're going to stop this interview, and we're going to prepare for the concert. It's attempted concert. Mark is going to play for us upstairs at the church's balcony and the organ. This has been Father Louis Gertie with these various interviews of Mark PACOE here at St. John Nepomucene. I can't thank you enough.
Thank you.
It's so beautiful, and I feel so cultured.
Thank you.
And come here, you're invited, St. John Nepomucene, 1st Avenue, 61st Street, 66th Street.
66.
In Manhattan. Let me hear from you, and Mark's email and my email will be up. St. John Nepomucene, EastRiverCatholics.org. God bless you, and play, and listen, and appreciate. Hi, this is Father Louis Skirty, and now this last episode of the interviews with Mark PACOE are here in the organ loft of St. John Nepomucene Church. And I'm going to just ask Jerry just to give you an overview of the beauty of this church. He's going to just turn the camera, and he's giving me a face because he wasn't prepared to do that. But is that beautiful? It's such a great view, and it really, I think, just enforces the faith of the Slovak community that built this church and the current community that praises and worships here. Okay, we're here, Mark. Mark, what are you going to do now?
So I have a couple excerpts, and I thought that I would demonstrate some of the things at the organ. You'll notice when you pan down to my feet that I'm still wearing my street shoes. I have special organ shoes, but this is a rather informal kind of demo. So the first piece I'm going to just begin. It's called Rhapsody alla Latina. It's a concert piece composed by a German composer, Hans Andre Stamm. And the first time I played this was at the cathedral in Los Angeles, which has a large Latino population.
Yes, yes.
So you'll get a flavor for some of the concert repertoire that I like to program.
Beautiful.
For a few more minutes.
Beautiful. I mean, powerful. It's awesome to be up here. Awesome, let me tell you. Okay, now.
This.
I mean, these. I mean, I don't do music, but whoa.
Yeah, this next piece is Roulade by Seth Bingham, and I must admit that I'm still putting the polish on it. It's a new piece for me, and I haven't performed it in public yet, so I'll just give you a snippet of a work in progress.
Thank you. This has been Father Louis Skirty with just giving you a little snippet, as Mark says, of some of the beauty that he brings out of this beautiful instrument. I'm here at St. John Nepomucene Church in Manhattan with Mark PACOE, who is the director of music here and has a history that is just wonderful. Thank you, Mark. I really appreciate
Father
all
Louis.
our interviews. God bless you.
Thank you.
And keep in touch. God bless you.